S.O.A.P is our daily study of the Bible, featuring a scripture, an observation, an application, and a prayer. Good morning. Today's Monday, April 26th. I'm Tom Tracy, and this is your daily S.O.A.P. Our scripture for today is Judges 6:14. Then the Lord turned to him and said, "Go with the strength you have and rescue Israel from the Midianites I am sending you." The observation is, what are you waiting for? And the application, the story of Gideon is a well-known and often referenced section of Scripture. How many times have you put out a fleece before the Lord? I know I've done it more times than I care to think about. We hear from God, but we're not sure, so we just want to make sure. We want to make certain, and perhaps we're just not ready, or we doubt ourselves, and we think we heard from God, but what we heard can't be right because it doesn't make sense to us. Sometimes it's just so unexpected, or it feels so outside of our ability that we just feel like we have to get that confirmation. We say we don't trust ourselves, so we ask for confirmation again and again, and then we don't like the confirmation, so we ask for another, and sometimes even another. That isn't our lack of trust in ourselves at that point. It's a lack of faith. If we believe God has told us something and we have to continually ask Him for confirmation, then either we don't really know the voice of God or we don't trust Him enough. If we know God's voice and we've heard from Him, why do we feel like we have to keep going back and asking Him to confirm it? That would be like asking someone for directions. And then when they give you the directions, you say, "Okay, I got it, I understand. Now, how do I get there again?" And you ask them again. And then they tell you a second time, and you ask them again. You see, if God responded like men did, God would throw His hands up in the air and say, "Go figure it out on your own then. I'm not going to help you anymore." But God isn't like that. God is patient and loving and kind, and He cares so much for us that He's willing to tell us again and again. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing that we hear repeatedly from God, but why should we need to? If we have learned to hear the voice of the Lord, and if we have learned to obey and trust in Him, then once should be enough. So are you Gideon today? Or are you willing to step out in faith and do what the Lord has called you to do and step forward and be who He has called you to be? God has spoken to every one of us and has given us all things to do. So my question today is, what are you waiting for? Learn to hear the voice of the Lord. Learn to trust in Him. Hear what He's telling you to do and begin to follow without hesitation. Our prayer for today: Father, help me to hear your voice clearly and to follow your instructions without hesitation. I trust that the Lord has spoken to you through this message today. If so, hit like and share and send it to a friend. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you here again tomorrow. Have a great day. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check us out. Surf around, and if you like what you see, do me a favor and mash that subscribe button and hit the bell.